this video, I wanted to give you my first impressions of the Blackline X powered speakers by Martin Audio. Back in early March of 2020, Martin sent us these portable speakers to try out at Mission Lakewood Church.
Cool. Would you mind just scooting it like right
I can get it closer.
Yeah. So Ashton, these boxes,
Yeah.
they gotta go in the office.
Wait,
Have fun.
Wait.
They sent us a pair of the XP15s and a single XP12 and a pair of XP118 subwoofers. So early one Sunday back in March, we loaded the speakers into the back of a pickup truck, drove to the school, and swapped these new speakers out with the existing Electro Voice powered speakers and subs that we had been using since the church launched 2 years ago. Installing the Blackline XP speakers was really simple, and setting them up was like any other powered PA system. First, we supplied the speakers with power, and then we ran XLR cables from the main outputs of our stage box to the inputs on the back of the speakers, and we simply daisy chained the subwoofers to the main speakers. Here's Brad, one of our tech team members, walking you through the user interface on the back of one of these Martin speakers.
And we've started to look at some of the menu settings. Some of the things I really like, all of the speakers are exactly identical for these software settings. So it's a simple twirl button. That's not the right term, but and push button. So it gives you the ability to control channel 1, channel 2. These speakers allow for a Bluetooth connection, which is nice, and then you can control your out. In addition to that, you can do EQ settings on each one of the individual channels. So for example, we can go into channel 1, which is where we have our input coming from the board. And you can adjust your high, your mid, your low, your high pass frequency you can set, which is kind of nice. And you can go through each one of the channels through the Bluetooth, and then it's got more menu settings in here.
Once the speakers were installed, we had to make some adjustments to our mix since it was dialed in for a different PA. In scenarios like this, I'll make sure that our master mix has a flat EQ to ensure I can hear all of the character of the speakers before making any adjustments. The first Sunday we used these speakers was quite a long time ago, back in early March, but I do remember liking what I heard. But I also wanted to test them out for a few more Sundays before I could give my final verdict. But the following Sunday, as you all know, our in-person services were canceled. That was that second week of March, right after the lockdown started. And those speakers ended up just sitting in the storage space at the school until we were able to retrieve them in mid-August. Now we're meeting for in-person services at a different venue, so I wanted to test these speakers out for a few more Sundays. So when we got to our venue for the first Sunday, I set up the Martin Blackline XPs. I was able to build a mix from the ground up in a new space. I re-EQ'd all the instruments and vocals, and I also made sure the EQ on my main mix was flat. We've only been doing a small band setup at this new venue with 2 vocalists, a guitar, keys, and tracks. But the first Sunday we used these speakers in a new venue, I truly was blown away with the clarity and balance. But I wanted to make this a little bit more scientific. I wondered how much of this had to do with the speaker quality of the Martin speakers versus the difference in the room acoustics that I was hearing at this new venue. So at the venue, they actually have a pair of QSC K12 speakers on hand. So I wanted to compare the difference between the Blackline XPs and the QSCs, which are a very popular option for a lot of portable churches like mine. So the next Sunday, we ended up switching back to the K12s, and I was actually really surprised how much I preferred mixing with the Martin speakers. Although I flattened out the EQ and practically rebuilt the mix with the K12s, there seemed to be this harshness about them that I found displeasing. I had one of our team members double check that there wasn't some sort of weird EQ applied to the QSCs that was altering the sound, and indeed there wasn't. We were starting from a flat mix. So the following week, we went back to the Blackline XPs, and sure enough, there was at least what I would say like a 20% improvement in sound quality. Now that is my arbitrary opinion about the differences, and Perhaps part of it has to do with the fact that I was comparing 15-inch Martin speakers with 12-inch QSCs, so it's not completely a fair comparison. But what I do know is that if I had to choose between the QSC speakers at the venue or the Martin speakers that we're borrowing, I would go with the Martin speakers. And that's the same opinion of my tech team members that I had. They preferred the Martins as well. And to be clear, Martin Audio did not sponsor this video. They sent me the speakers to try out and give my honest impressions. I would tell you if I didn't like them, but honestly, I'm really bummed I can't keep these speakers, unless of course Martin changes their mind about that. It's really exciting to have another quality speaker option for churches, especially if you're portable like us. Martin Audio is known for building speaker systems for large, high-end venues. They were able to take that same engineering that they apply to large PA systems and pack it into this small form factor that any smaller venue can use. Ideally, I would like to be able to A/B test these speakers with other makes and models using the same worship band in the same venue, but like many of you, my team is really in a hurry to get our usual gear up and running for the Sunday service. It's bad enough that I have to show up on church on Sunday morning with a new PA and tell my tech crew, hey guys, got new speakers today, and they usually react, great, more new gear for us to set up with barely any time to dial it in or troubleshoot any problems. But fortunately, the Blackline XPs were very straightforward to integrate into our existing sound system. I'm gonna link the speakers below so you can learn more and pick up some for yourself. Big thanks to Martin for sending these over here. Sorry this review took so long, but granted we had to wait for our church to actually have a venue to meet in again. And it's amazing to have live sound once again and use quality speakers like these Blackline XPs. Hey, it's post-production Jake. As I was editing this video, I realized I didn't say anything about the build quality of the hardware of these speakers. And I am glad to report that they are built to be very, very tough. This past Sunday, when we were setting the speakers up at church, we had one of the subwoofers on a flight case. I think it's a flight case that our mixer is stored in. And it turns out our mixer is pretty tough as well. But our pastor was pushing the flight case outside, wheeling it along the sidewalk. It hit a divot in the sidewalk, and the whole flight case and the subwoofer on top of it went crashing to the ground on concrete. And I'm glad to report that the subwoofer is okay. It functioned completely fine for the service. And fortunately, our pastor is okay. He might have sprained his ankle through the whole ordeal. So his build quality of the ankle is not great, but the subwoofer, the Martin Audio speaker, it's built to be tough, and it passed our rigorous test. Check out our worship ministry toolkit for our comprehensive guide on the latest tools for worship ministry. And if you'd like my team to help you build powerful tech infrastructure for your church, then check out worshipministryschool.com. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.